What's up? This is Richie and Jamie from the Where We Wild YouTube channel, and today we're going to give you a few tips on how to pick the best campsite at a campground. Let's get into it. All right, so first things first, when should you even go? When's a good time to go camping? It's a big deal. It's going to affect a lot of things. You really want to try to avoid big holiday weekends. We've said that before in another video, I think. And it's a darn good point.
Yes, it is.
You know, everyone's going to come out on big holidays. They're going to want to party. It's going to get loud. It's going to get obnoxious.
You're going to hit traffic.
Oh, yeah. Traffic. There's going to be less sites available. Right? So the best time to go is right after that holiday weekend. Usually bleeds into the Monday, right? So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of that week, you're going to hear crickets. For the most part. It should be way more quiet, don't you think?
Definitely.
Way more sites available, way less people around. Definitely the best time to go, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
So now that you know when the best time to go is, let's talk about what to look for in a campsite. First thing I got to go with, flat ground.
Yeah, that's a good first thing.
Right?
Yeah.
A lot of them are going to be slightly hilly here and there. You can't really get a good sense if you're booking online.
Right.
Some maps might have elevations and all that crazy stuff, you know, but for the most part, you're going to have to find that out when you show up. But you can try to look at pictures of the campsite online on their website. You can YouTube it. Maybe someone made a video of that campsite. Some of them, we've done that a million times.
We've done that a lot of times. On recreation.gov, the reviews are pretty good too.
Oh, the reviews, yeah. See what people say. Site 36, really hilly. Like, do your research before you go.
Definitely.
Yeah, even on the drive there.
It's nature, right? Like you're not going to have a perfectly level ground, but in most sites, there's at least a flat enough spot for you to put your tent.
Yeah, and some of them are designed to be like super, super flat. Like we've seen that, but they're more like kind of on like parking lot type pads, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But so do the best you can there. Look for flat ground to set up your tent. That way your tent's more secure. And also, if it's not perfect, like she said, because a lot of them won't be, make sure you set it up so you're sleeping with your head higher than your feet. You don't want the blood like rushing to your head all night. Like even if it's a slight, you know, incline, that could really make a difference. So just put your pillow on the top and have your feet a little lower.
Yeah, we've done that before.
Yeah, it was weird.
We've also done it incorrectly, and I've woken up with you like rolled onto me.
Yeah, that one. Remember
we were in a corner.
One time it was so bad, I literally felt myself like sliding down my bag. Like, it was like literally, like we had no choice. There's the only one left. Where were we? Bass Lake. Yeah, that was insane, dude. That was horrible. What are you gonna do? But yeah, look for flat ground. And speaking of level ground, there are a few different things you can use to your advantage as far as the height of the ground goes. So cold air sinks. In the colder months, you don't want to set up on a low section, but in hot months, you do want to set up in that little bit of a dip because that cool air is going to sink down. Depending on what time of year it is, you can use that. In the winter, you know, you want to go up a little higher, let that cold air sink away from you. And also, if it does rain, be mindful that you're not set up on the lowest point where the rainwater is going to come down and pool all around where you set up your tent. So it just depends. Like you're going to have to dial in on each environment and each season, but just be aware that that cold air sinks. And if you need the cold air, go get it. If you don't need that, stay away from it, you know? And same with the rainwater always. You really don't want to be in a big dip. The next thing you're going to look for are trees. In the summertime, you're going to want more shade, for sure. You're going to want more trees. In the colder months, you're going to want less shade. You're going to want that sun to keep you warm. So whether you're going in person, you're going online, you know, there's different ways you can go about finding the trees. Online, open up the satellite mode on the campground maps. You can literally see the trees, the bushes, everything like that. You'll see, oh man, that's such a wide open area. There's no trees. But in person, you know, obviously you just take a look around, you know, look at that shade, look at this, look at that. And also be mindful of widowmakers up in those trees.
Yeah.
Look for dead branches up there. Make sure you're not setting up your tent under this massive branch that could come down and kill you in the middle of the night.
Don't set up like just blindly, like, oh, there's a tree, let me put my tent up.
Yeah, be aware, man. Look up there, check it out, make sure it's safe. But trees are great, man. There's nothing. If you don't have shade when it's like super hot, you're screwed.
We've done that.
Oh man, it's just miserable. I mean, you can set up your own shade and make, set up a tarp and this and that, but
totally
natural shade is sweet.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, it gets cold out. You want that sun, baby. The next thing you're going to look for is water. Now, usually on the campground maps, you'll see like little water symbols, stuff like that. Or when you're out there driving around, you'll see, all the little water stations and water pumps for you to get your water for cleaning your dishes or cooking or whatever you need it for. You don't want to be too far away from that because it's just going to make your life harder. Yeah. You're filling up buckets of water or your shower or whatever it is. But you don't want to be right next to the communal water either because there's going to be more foot traffic and stuff like that. Every campground will be different, but just make sure that you're within shooting distance of a water source. And the last thing I think is great to look for are sites that are around the outer perimeter of the campground and not dead center where you're surrounded by everyone. Try to find one that's around that outside, away from the campground roads that weave in and out of everything. There'll be less noise. There'll be less people, and you'll have like your back or wherever to just nature. Like you won't have more campers on that side of you. They'll just be inside from you, which is cool. We always look for that.
Always.
All right, so now that you know what to look for, let's talk about what to avoid. There's a few things that you want to stay the heck away from.
Yeah.
Number one, the bathrooms.
Yes.
We made that mistake.
Speaking from experience, stay far away from the bathrooms.
No fun. I mean, sometimes, like in our situation, we didn't really have much of a choice.
Yeah.
First come, first serve. We got there. We drove 2-3 hours away, whatever. That's all we had.
Yep.
And we made the best of it. And sometimes that's going to happen. You roll with it. You make the best of it. Try not to dwell on it. Do the best you can. It sucks.
The wind changed.
Yeah, we got lucky. The wind changed.
We got lucky there.
Yeah, but if you can, do your homework. Avoid those bathrooms. Obviously, you're driving around, there's the bathroom. Oh, that site's available. Nah, no go. Yeah. And online, you can open it up, use the campground maps on the campground website or recreation.gov, or watch YouTube videos about that campsite. Do whatever you can do. Do your research and try to stay away from that. You don't want to be miles away because when you got to go, you got to go. You don't want to be hiking 20 miles to go.
Right.
But there's going to be more foot traffic by the bathrooms. It's going to be more noise. There's going to be way more smell, and it is not fun. And the same thing goes for trash cans and dumpsters.
Dumpsters, yeah.
More foot traffic. Everyone's going to throw their stuff out. Animals could congregate there.
That's true.
And obviously the smell is a factor too. The bathrooms usually smell worse than the dumpsters if they're closed. Just depends on who's running the campground and how clean they're keeping it or
definitely
whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about that.
Yeah, if you want to see that video, what was that? Reyes Creek Campground? Yeah. The next thing you want to avoid are the campgrounds that are right outside the major cities. We've said that before too. Usually people are lazy and they're not going to want to drive further and further away. So when they're looking up campsites, they're like, oh, that one's right outside the city limits there. Let's go to that one. Don't do that. Go another hour. Get up into that wilderness a little bit more. It's going to be way more quiet. You're going to have way less people.
Too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's probably cheaper.
Especially if you're walking up too. I know that feeling of desperation of we need to find a place to sleep tonight. But sometimes just driving another 20, 30 minutes makes all the difference. You get a better spot. It's quieter. It's prettier. There's less people.
That's for sure. But like I said earlier, sometimes it just kind of is what it is. Like when you're on that road trip, dude, and you're desperate, like she just said, to find a place to stay for the night. It's getting dark. You drove 8 hours in the day. You're shot.
Freaking out.
It is what it is. You just grab. Yeah. That was bad.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was tough. You're so tired.
I know.
But do your best to avoid those. It helps you avoid the crowds. And then the last thing I think that you should try to avoid. Sometimes we don't avoid it, but certain times of year you might is still bodies of water that might have way more of a mosquito problem. Sometimes it's beautiful. Sometimes I love setting up right next to water. But you also have to be aware, of flooding, stuff like that. Rivers, tides, they go up, they go down. You don't want to set your tent up right next to that river and then all of a sudden, you know, it rains up in the mountains and boom, your tent is half water. You know, the water's creeping up on you. It's so just be mindful. I don't know if we should put that in a void, because sometimes I absolutely love it.
Oh yeah.
To have that water right there, but at least be mindful of avoiding flash floods, mosquitoes in real still water, stuff like that. There's just pros and cons and advantages and disadvantages of booking ahead of time online or having to book first come first serve. You know, some places are only first come first serve, and it's a gamble, man. Like, how many times have we drove 4 or 5 hours not even having a clue where we were going? I mean, that's just the way it is sometimes. I would recommend trying to book online first if you can. If you can do your booking online, do your research online, check out the campground maps. There's the bathroom, there's the water, there's this. It helps you dial in so it's not as much of a gamble.
Even if you're looking online for the first come first serve sites and then you have plans to walk up, at least you kind of get a good idea before you even go. If it's part of a bigger campground, there's going to be something online about it.
Yeah, that way, you know, when you do get there, you have a few 18, 24, 27, 36. You have those in mind when you go, just to kind of narrow it down a little bit. Like, that's what you're shooting for. Like, when I get there, let's see if we can get 18. Let's see if we can get 24. You know, that's a great point. Just on the ride up there, check it out if you have self-service and stuff. Do your homework before you even leave. So whether you're doing your booking online or you're showing up in person, you're looking for pretty much all the same stuff. In person, you're going to be able to see that Widowmaker up in that tree. Online, you're going to be able to scout out everything beforehand and have a better idea and guarantee yourself that better site when you get there. It's yours. So pros and cons, do the best you can. Some nights it's going to be a one-night trip where very spontaneous, go up there, is what it is, like that one trip. If it's not the best, make the best of it. Do what you got to do, and then if you're looking for a longer few days to a week-long trip, then you really want to make sure that you're not going to get stuck with a site that's not very good. So do your research, do your homework, and most of all, make the best of it no matter what happens. I think. And that's hard to do sometimes.
It is. It is.
It is. You know, you go, you have such high expectations, you know, you want to relax, have fun, and sometimes things do not go perfectly. And you just either let it ruin your trip, or you roll with it and make the best of it. That's up to you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like. And if you're into this sort of thing, don't forget to hit subscribe. We put a new video out every single week. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Later. If you want to see more videos just like this one, be sure to check out the rest of the Where We Wild YouTube channel, where we post a brand new video every week. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever we post a new adventure. Thanks for watching.
See ya.